No, let's bring in our guy, our world champion GM, Jim Bowden, jumping aboard here. Let's start with Shohei Ohtani. Bad first inning, then recovered, swung the bat well. I mean, first guy in 100 years since Babe Ruth to lead baseball in home runs and start the game as a starting pitcher. What'd you make of Ohtani, both just in this little one game and of who he is right now?
Yeah, well, you talked about that first inning where he gave up 4 runs. He really was missing on his arm side, had no command or control of his pitches. What I really liked about it, though, is once he got loose, he dominated innings 2 to 5. I mean, he was dominant, retiring 7 of 9 at one point. He ended up with 9 strikeouts in that game. And so he looked like the ace after that first inning. I mean, that's what he looked like. And at the plate, what you saw was a 113-mile-an-hour double, which is just incredible coming off that bat. You saw a 27-mile-an-hour bunt single, and you witnessed a 99-mile-an-hour fastball. And this is a guy on the mound that was throwing mostly in the mid-90s. He had a split finger at 90 miles an hour. They had no chance to hit. And he utilized the slider, the curve, the cutter, and the change, along with the fastball and the splitter. So, look, just so impressed with him. And I think what you said really sums it up. The last time we had a guy that led the league in home runs and was a starting pitcher was Babe Ruth in 1921. This is the best two-way player the sport has had since Babe Ruth. And by the time he's done playing in the States, we're going to come away saying he's the best two-way player in the history of the game. There's nothing this kid can't do on the field. He's a joy to watch and great for the sport, and he showed that all tonight.
Yeah, baseball is changing. No two ways about it. And here's another example. The Marlins won 8-0 tonight and struck out 15 times as a team. And they won 8-0. This was a pitching matchup. It was Rogers, it was Burns. It was interesting. What did you see in this game between these two pitchers and the fact that the Marlins, I mean, you can strike out 15 times and win by 8 runs.
Yeah, you certainly can, especially when you pitch like that. I think the thing that the viewers need to really understand, though, is when you mention it's Trevor Rogers against Corbin Burns, you're talking about the second and third best pitcher in the National League this year behind Jacob deGrom. Not even close. DeGrom's got his 0.31 ERA, but you've got Rogers sitting there after this game with a 1.29 ERA, Burns with a 1.59 ERA, and both of them have the stuff to match the performances they're putting on the table. Rogers, with a former first-round pick, doesn't have the height that other people have, but he was 94, 97 again tonight. Got the slider, he's got the changeup, and he has great velocity differential between the fastball and the change, 94 to 86, and the slider to 82. So he knows how to really change speeds. He's got dominant stuff. On the other side, Corbin Burns is just a few strikeouts away from breaking Kenley Jansen's record for the most strikeouts without walking a batter to start the season. But what you saw tonight with Burns was the worst start of the year for him. You know why? Because he was so concentrating on not to walk anybody. He so wanted the record that he just kept too much in the strike zone early and late in the count. He didn't expand the zone at all, and the hitters know what he's trying to do. I understand wanting to break the record, but quite frankly, to watch his ERA go from 0 to 1.5 in one outing, a little bit of a surprise. And then finally, I'll touch on your strikeouts. Hey, it's 2021. It's home runs and strikeouts. That's the world we're living in. Now, baseball understands that this is a problem. They're trying experimental things in the Atlantic League. They're going to move the rubber back another foot. There are thoughts they can go back 3 feet without risking injury to pitchers to try to help the hitters even the playing field. They're talking about eradicating the shift so that you can't put 3 infielders on one side, that you have to have 2 on each side of the second base bag. And these are things baseball is going to look at because it has become a problem. But in the meantime, we're having an exciting 2021 season, and that's what we're seeing again tonight. But yes, it's home runs and strikeouts, and don't worry about the punch-outs, worry about the wins.
Man, 40% of the at-bats last year in Major League Baseball were strikeouts, walks, or home runs. 40%. Yep. And look, it's exciting in some ways, but you're right. Adjustments need to be made in other ways. They made an adjustment in Colorado. GM's out. What do you know, and what should I, can you translate this for me?
Yeah, I mean, it's been a nightmare what's happened in Colorado the last 5 years, spending all those money on relief pitchers that didn't work out. Then they gave the big contract to Arenado, and then they end up trading Arenado, and then they didn't get enough for Arenado. And it was time for a change. And Dick Monfort went to Jeff Bridich, asked him to step down, and he agreed to step down. Went into Bud Black's office, said it was time. It wasn't his choice. It had to happen. Now, what the Rockies are going to do is they're going to hire an interim general manager to finish the 2021 season. And then they're going to make a run at Theo Epstein, see if they can convince him to go to Colorado. I think it'll take an ownership share to get him there. If that doesn't work, then they're going to go to Minnesota, see if they can get permission to talk to Thad Levine, who used to work for the Rockies. That would be choice number 2 for them. But they're going to do a thorough search, and they're going to change the culture there in Colorado, and they're going to hire eventually someone outside the organization. They've been inside that organization too long. They need to completely change the culture and the philosophies there, and so they're going to do it. Look, it's a tough day for Jeff Bridich. We get it, but his track record is what it is. The Rockies organization's in complete disarray, and this was a long time coming.
You're the best. There he is, our general manager, Jim Bowden. Thank you so much for the.
Want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis. No yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.